The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the opinions of the staff or management of Visionary Related Entertainment.
Good afternoon and aloha. Welcome to Maui Nonprofit Notes, the weekly show where we talk story with Maui's nonprofit executive directors and staff to find out how they are working to support the needs of the Maui community. We're sponsored by Pacific Source, Maui's best source for building materials, with a cabinet and appliance showroom open to the public in the Waikapu Bayshard. I'm Susie Tiemann, Interim Executive Director for Lokahi Pacific and President of the Maui Nonprofit Directors. I'm happy to introduce my co-host for today. Hey, Max.
Hey, Susie. How's it going today?
Good. Max Tornai of Mediation Services Maui.
Yes.
Yes.
That is true.
Did you have a good one this morning or something?
A good morning?
Yeah, or a good mediation.
We actually had a couple of great mediations that happened this week. Today, I'm kind of struggling. I had a rough sleep last night. My neck's all crinked up.
Okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't your mind replaying things from the day. It was your neck.
Yeah, no. But, you know, it's a beautiful day outside, and I'm happy to be here. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah?
I'll find out later, I guess.
Yeah.
When I wake up.
Which is not yet.
Just because it's noon,
Right, what's the big deal?
Yeah.
But during this hour, we'll be sharing the experiences of how our nonprofit community leaders and their agencies work to benefit our beautiful island home, with stories of how their agencies are changing lives, changing communities, and creating miracles of hope. And today we have Joylyn Paman from the Maui Nui Botanical Gardens and Sherry Dodson from Habitat for Humanity. Clearly, I haven't woken up yet.
Yeah, see? At least I recognize not being awake. Hey, Sherry, you're going to start out with us today, huh?
I am. How you guys doing?
We're not sure.
I know, you guys are.
We're giving you a bad time because you yawned a little while ago. And
At least I'm perky, though.
We'll get there. This show will do it for us.
Yes.
Yeah. So what's exciting over at Habitat?
Oh, Habitat for Humanity Maui. We're doing great work as usual, but the exciting news is that we've been planning this 16-unit condominium project in Happy Valley for, it seems like, years. Actually, it probably is years. Yeah. But we finally have a groundbreaking date. August 16th, we're breaking ground on our 16-unit condominium.
Wow, that's exciting.
Yeah, this is a new project for Habitat Maui, but it's a project that habitats all across the nation do when, land is an issue, which, of course, land is an issue here.
So 16-unit condominium, we're talking one building with 16 units in it.
That's generally what a condominium is. Yeah.
And hello. Thanks, Ash. Okay, it's your show, Max.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. But you guys are really you're gonna build it like a regular Habitat house.
Yes, we use the Habitat model where we use volunteer laborers and, of course, the sweat equity of the families that are chosen to have the opportunity to purchase the units. Mm-hmm. And, here on Maui, we do have to sub out plumbing and electrical. And the concrete work, which is the bottom floor, basically, will be done by a contractor as well. But everything else will be done by volunteer labor.
Okay, so this is the first time that you've done a condo unit. You've always done houses before.
Yeah, we did purchase some units over at Harbor Lights, so we've done that condominium idea. We deal obviously with 25 to 80% of medium income, and that includes a lot of kapuna. It includes a lot of single people. We have single moms, that kind of stuff. And sometimes a house is just too much.
True.
We have one person who's disabled on dialysis. Maintaining a house, a single-family home, is too much work. So condominium can be a great alternative for kapuna, disabled, veterans, single people.
Absolutely.
That's terrific. We found out, with that unit, the affordable subdivision we're doing in Kihei, some of the folks who qualified for it were all excited about it. When they go through the classes and they find out what they have to do to keep the house going, it's not just the fact that you can't call your landlord and say something's wrong with the plumbing anymore. It's taking care of the yard, it's painting when you need to paint, washing the windows, all those kinds of things. So we had a few people who had to drop out because they just said they didn't see themselves doing that.
See, we still get people who call us after they move in. My toilet and stuff. So we actually hold home maintenance courses as part of our program.
Oh, that's a great
where we
idea.
teach people anything they want to learn. We don't really have a set curriculum. Jim Brisky is one of the facilitators. And if there's 10 people there and they have 10 different ideas, whether it's drywall or how to install a light fixture, he'll go through every single one of those and show them how to do it and the safe way to do it. So we started that program for that very reason, because so many of our families, after they moved in and owned the home, kept calling us and saying, "Oh, my garage door doesn't work." Oh, well, call the garage door guy.
It's yours, baby.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, we're
all
not your
yours.
landlords.
We can refer people, if you need help. But,
Right. Now this is 2 stories?
It's actually 3 stories.
Three stories.
The bottom floor is all parking.
Oh, okay.
It's in Happy Valley, which is part of the Wailuku redevelopment area. So there is some design criteria, and one of them is to have parking either behind or underneath.
Okay.
And then the 2nd and 3rd floors are units. They're 2-bedroom and 1-bedroom. They'll all be self-contained. There'll be washer and dryer in the units. We're doing as green a project as we possibly can. There's no air conditioning, but we have, the way the project is designed, we have nice cross flows of air on each unit. We have awnings on the windows to keep out the sun.
Cool.
Ceiling fans, that kind of stuff. And of course, it'll be all Energy Star appliances.
Nice.
So you're
So,
really going to have people on scaffolding up there on the 2nd and 3rd floors?
Yes, ma'am.
isn't that what scaffolding's for?
I know, but
Now this project, I actually, when I approached the board and we talked about this project, there was 2 projects, one going on in San Francisco, which I had visited prior to this project coming up, and it was a 9-story right off of Union Street in downtown San Francisco. And so I knew it could be done. I did.
Right.
That was a little ambitious for us. But then as we got the design going and this kind of stuff, I went back to San Francisco and to Daly City, where they're doing a 36-unit condominium that's 5 stories and 2 separate buildings. And what they did was the contractor came in and did the bottom floor, which is the parking. And then you use that sort of as your office, as your home base. And we hope Cheryl Pokipalo, who's our volunteer coordinator, she's going to be pulling in a lot of volunteers Tuesday through Saturday, which will be our work days there. And so any volunteers can show up during those periods of time and just check in with our project manager.
so you don't expect the prospective owners to do all the work. You have a lot of other outside volunteers who want to help with the project.
Yeah, absolutely. We, in fact, our outside volunteers are huge. We have our steadies here from Maui, but we also have a large amount of groups that come from the mainland, especially this summer. We have groups, college teams, it's called Collegiate Challenge. We have Global Village teams, which are people from all over the world. Wow. We have high school teams that during the summer, like their church groups or their, and we also get a lot of businesses who have their incentive, reward vacation here. And then the company will organize 1 or 2 days of community service. So then we'll put them on a job.
How many volunteers would you need to complete a project like this?
I'll tell you in about 18 months.
18 months. How many volunteers do you need to build a house that you've built already?
It typically takes about 3,000 or 4,000 volunteer hours. The family puts in a minimum of 500 hours, but they have to be there on every Saturday that volunteers are there. And this condominium project, of course, we're going to work a lot more hours. But our families work. The families that we're selling these units to, they all have working people who just can't afford to get into the housing market. So they typically can't, work during the week, but they'll come after hours. We were just talking about this, Susie. Once they start seeing the potential of their unit, because we don't sell them to them until the project is done, then they get so excited to see it come up. And that's part of our program is they get so vested in the property that they want to maintain it, they want to keep it up.
So do you typically just have one potential buyer or family that would be going into a unit that would work on that, and that sale might not ultimately happen? Right?
Yeah, we've been really fortunate here. We've only had to, we call it deselect one family, because a family is selected as a potential buyer. We've only had to deselect one for lack of, because it's not just sweat equity. We need them to go to homeowner education classes. We need them to go to budget classes. We tell them you have to reduce your debt. You have to clean up your credit reports. And that's why our projects typically take longer than a regular house, because it's not just that we're using volunteer labor, which takes a little bit more time, but we're also getting the family ready. We don't want to put a family into a house that isn't ready.
Yeah.
So the families will work towards it, but we always have backup families. The last big project we did, the 12-house subdivision, we had 2 backup families. And
And so this condo has 16 units?
16,
And so
yes.
you have 16 ready families to move?
Not yet. We haven't started the process of selection
Oh, okay.
because you don't want to keep a family in too long in
Yeah.
the selection, because then they're like, when is it going to be done?
Yeah.
Which is, and I understand they're impatient. But so once we finish the slab and the concrete work, then we'll open up for applications, and I'll
Okay.
probably be back on the radio and in the paper and anywhere we can to announce that we'll be taking applications.
Oh, okay, cool.
And it's a kind of a natural selection process when we do this, that people drop out naturally when they, can't get their, pay stubs and their income tax and all that kind of stuff. And we put very strict deadlines because we have to. We're a mortgage company, so we have to abide by all the federal laws. So if they don't respond within 30 days, then their file is closed. So the people that really want to work hard and show us that they really want to work hard, those are the ones that get through the process. You tell them to show up for a homeowner education class on Saturday. They go, well, but I want to go to the beach. Well, you know what? You don't want the house that bad then.
Right.
Yeah.
And that kicks you off the list.
Well, it puts
It
you.
could.
Yeah. There's other families that, as part of our criteria, is your willingness to partner with us, and that's an indication of how you're willing to partner
Right.
with us. If you don't, if we ask you to, do what's really helpful to you, and you
Right.
won't do it, then. Generally speaking, when we get into the sweat equity and all that kind of stuff, or even after we sell the house to them and getting the mortgage paid back to us,
Right.
they start to, I don't like being a bill collector.
Yeah.
So you're a contractor, you're a mortgage company,
And we service the mortgage. So we're
and you
mortgage
keep it
servicer.
right in-house.
And we do education.
And
classes.
homeowner
education.
Yeah, education.
Wow.
That's a lot on your plate.
Yeah, and then when we run the store too. We have a home building store.
And that store is actually great. I stopped by a couple weeks ago, and you guys have a lot of just random supplies that could be used for tons of different projects. It's great just
Yeah.
to check out
Yeah.
and browse through just to see what's out there.
Yeah.
One of the homeowners in our subdivision bought some, what's the pieces for like a patio?
Patio furniture?
No, the
Oh, stepping
stone.
stones? Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And he got a ton of it, it seemed like, for hardly anything.
Yeah.
I think he paid $100 for something that would have cost him $1,000 at the
Oh, yeah. It's
Home
incredible.
Depot or someplace.
Yeah, well, the stuff we get in, I've remodeled my entire bathroom with Restore stuff, except having to buy minor things in between. I'm currently remodeling my kitchen and doing a new backsplash with part of the tile that I bought from the Restore. We just get really nice stuff in.
And that's so like construction businesses around the island will donate surplus goods to your
Yep.
store, and then you can resell them for a lower price, right?
And a lot of the stores will have excess. They'll over order, a special order. We get a lot of that stuff. Or they might change vendors and they have to get the old vendor stuff out. All that kind of stuff. They have maybe not enough for an entire large project, so it's like remnant pieces of tile or granite or whatever it is. So those will be on sale at our store.
Yeah, I was able to get granite, a couple granite slabs for my kitchen counter. It was great. It looks great. It's so easy, That was awesome.
Max the builder.
Sort of. More just carrying it and putting it on
Yes,
something.
I was going to say he picked out pieces that were pre-cut, ready to go.
Oh,
This is
radio,
perfect.
I see.
Yeah.
A Home and Garden channel the other day, I was watching them put a tin countertop on.
A tin cover.
Tin. It was really
Interesting.
amazing to watch them do that.
I've
Okay.
seen tin on the ceilings, and I've seen
Yeah.
tin as backsplashes, but I've never seen it on countertop.
I'm not sure I would like that because I think you could, hack at something with a knife really,
Yeah.
hard, and I would think it would leave a mark. But whatever.
Yeah, the new thing for countertops is concrete.
Yeah.
That's right. That seems so weird to me, but some of the pictures I've seen look okay. So.
Oh, they can stain it beautifully,
Re-
so
oh,
it
that's
looks
what
like
it is.
granite.
Right.
Yeah, any kind of concrete. In fact, we have concrete stain in the store right now. If anybody's interested, enough to do your driveway or your patio, or
Oh my goodness.
Why don't you tell people where the store is since
okay.
There you
so they
go.
can get there?
it's 970 Lower Main Street, and it's sort of kitty corner to Homemade Bakery. Although we do have a new bakery next door too, the CEA bakery that's like wonderful. It's the worst smell coming over. It just sort of gravitates you over there for
Yeah.
Spanish rolls.
And we're not saying anything about the food. The food is fabulous because we had samples, I believe, last time you were on.
Yes, I did
They
bring.
had just opened, but I didn't see anything today. But that's the way it goes.
I brought
Yeah,
it for
sure.
KAOI, not you guys.
Oh,
See how it
oh,
is.
what can I say? Anyway, on that note, we're going to take a break and let Paul tell us a little bit about their store.
Aloha from Pacific Source, and thank you for your support over the years. Pacific Source has offered more of what builders and homeowners value most in building materials and cabinet design. We've done this by offering superior customer service and products, as well as by designing kitchens and baths that are intelligent and elegant while staying true to your vision and budget. Visit our showroom in Waikapu in Central Maui, where we display a variety of cabinets as well as top-name appliances like Sub-Zero, Wolf, Viking, KitchenAid, and more. We display countertops, tile and wood flooring, and several brands of windows and doors, including Fleetwood multi-slides and La Cantina folding doors. Come in and talk to our designers about making your dreams become a reality. From concept to completion, we really believe our attention to detail and superior service are what sets us apart. Let us show you what we mean. We are a Pacific Source at 515 East Oahe Way in the Consolidated Base Yard in Waikapu, just off Waiko Road. Call us at 986-0380. That's 986-0380, or look us up online at packsource.com.
And Maui Nonprofit Notes is back again. We're talking story with Sherry Dotson of Habitat for Humanity Maui. And she's telling us how they're going to get people up on scaffolding to do a 3-story building. I've got to swing
Well,
down
that's just
that
on
way.
the outside.
I
Most
know,
of it's going
why?
to be on the inside.
Yeah,
wall,
I know
so-
that. Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just, it just amazes me. I can't imagine organizing enough volunteers to build 16 units in a building.
Yeah.
And
What was the largest project that you've done so far?
Well, we did a 12-house subdivision in Waihuko 4, which was, and we've had these build-a-thons. We started those in like 2004, where we get 200 volunteers in one day, working on anywhere from 4 houses 1 year, 5 houses another year, and 12 houses in a couple of years. So, managing that is, I wouldn't say it's easy. It's especially if it's just one day. So you spread that over 18 months. This is a piece of cake.
Whoa. Let's see. This is August. Oh, August. It feels
Almost
like
August,
August.
yeah.
Well,
July-
the groundbreaking is going to be in August.
Yeah, today's July 25th. So we look
It
at say even 20 months down the road. I give up. What is it?
Well, let's
almost 2
see.
years
April?
from now.
Yeah.
April.
Right.
We'll look at April 2014.
I'll come back and give you the progress.
Very good. We look forward to that.
So, it's a fun, different project, but it's a way to provide more housing to accommodate the need. There's such a huge need here for housing, especially low-income housing. So Habitat's always trying to figure out how we can serve more people. We have our Brush with Kindness program, which is another extension of trying to help people stay in their homes if they have them. We have a lot of substandard housing in Maui. You can drive around and you can see it.
The great thing about Habitat for Humanity is that you don't necessarily need to have building expertise to volunteer. You can actually learn that stuff on the project. So it's almost like educational opportunity as
like
well.
a tech school.
Yeah. So
You're in there learning the different trades.
Yeah, there's some collateral things that happen when Habitat does a project. One of them is that people can come up and, they can call us and say, call me when you're doing drywall so I can learn how to drywall.
Yeah.
Or we've actually taught a lot of our partner families' children how to, lay tile or, lay flooring or roofing and this kind of stuff. So they're learning skills.
Yeah.
Another collateral, thing that happens is that you're bringing, low-income people of, lower income with volunteers, because the volunteers that come up on the job site come from all walks of life. They're, whoa, that was a loud one.
Cell phone that was.
Yes, let's qualify. That was a cell phone. Okay. They're interacting with low-income families and not really knowing who is low-income or who is higher income, and they're finding out that they're all just really hardworking people. There's no different, and we have, partner families that made such good friends with the people who showed up at the volunteer opportunity, and now they're, invited to the 1-year baby party, or they're invited to graduation parties. They become part of that
Cool.
family.
Yeah, that's so great.
Yeah.
So what's the income limitation on your house?
25 to 80% medium income. So
25 to
25%
80.
is probably a kapuna on Social Security, maybe with a small pension. 80% could be, a family of 4 medium income right now is 77,000.
Yeah.
So, it's always surprising when we talk to my board members and I tell them the numbers. They're like, oh my gosh, I'm low income. I'm at 80. I'm at 90. Yeah, most of people are at, 80 or 90% of medium income. They're not making $77,000 a year.
So if there's somebody out there that's thinking of maybe this being an opportunity for them, you have this information on your website?
Yep, there's information. You can download our application on the website. You can call us and we can get an application. Even though we're not taking applications for the Kahawai project, the condominium project yet, it's really a good idea to send in stuff now so you can start working on your credit so that you can be ready during that project, because we also have not just home maintenance classes, but we have a home ownership classes too that will, review your credit report. And because most people don't even realize when they see their credit report that there's negative stuff on it. Oh, that Sprint bill, and it seems to always be Sprint, no offense, but
Well, cell phones in general,
yeah, cell
or
phones.
cable bills.
All right.
yeah, they're always, I thought I paid that off, or
Right.
that medical bill that, I didn't even know I
Yeah.
had that.
They thought insurance paid 100%. And
Right.
they forgot they had a copay.
Yeah, exactly. So, getting that credit report, looking at it, and some of these stuff, it's like $100. You could clear your credit report for under $500. Why not do it?
Yeah.
And maybe then you don't qualify for our program because you make too much. Then you can go on and qualify for a Lokahi or another program, or even go out for a conventional mortgage where on the market.
So now this project, Happy Valley, you said.
Yes.
So is there some land around it, or is it between some points that, like, if somebody wanted to go out and visualize?
It is an infill project. It's runs along the Iao Stream, the big stream. It's almost like right across the stream from public housing, from Kahikili.
Oh, okay.
So there's a little, the street is Kahawai Street, and it's one lot in. And it's been vacant for years, for 20 years at least, probably even more. There was a house on there at one point. Used to be sugar fields and agriculture a long time ago. I know this because we had to do the environmental. And you learn all this stuff about it.
Exactly, exactly. The steps that we have to go through to get a project started,
It's pretty intense,
it's
yeah.
unreal, and all you want to do is help some people have a home to live in.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was
Yeah.
mentioning that I was had to go before the Land Use Commission last week on another project that we're doing in Kahoma and Lahaina, our first project in Lahaina. And we've been working on this for 4 or 5 years too. And we're just doing 10 out of the 68 units. But it's interesting that, the people that oppose, these projects, it's just because they're uneducated. They think, I don't want this low-income housing in my backyard. And I can tell you that when people put that much of their heart and soul into building their own home, and they've waited so long,
Right.
in my experience anyway, and we've, working with our 75th family here, they have the nicest yards.
Yeah.
They have they maintain it because it's theirs finally.
And you're not just invested in it because of the money. You're invested in it because you spent all that time. What did you say, 500 volunteer
At
hours?
least 500.
At least.
Yeah.
Sweat equity
Yeah,
counts big
yeah.
time.
Yeah, and you're every Saturday, you can imagine every Saturday for 9 months, your life is turned upside down, and it's all about working to get this, and whether it's having to do the home ownership part about it, or just the sweat of being out on the job site. And so yeah, they are so appreciative and so grateful that they maintain their houses. They make great neighbors.
I
They
can
really
definitely
do.
see that.
Yeah, so we just need to educate people a little bit more.
I think that's it. And there's a lot of folks I'd like to take over and make them go to the class. I got some neighbors that shouldn't own their own homes. They should rent. They don't know how to trim a hedge. They don't know how to cut the grass. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're being a NIMBY now.
Well, no, I mean, but if you're
They're
going
not low income.
Not listen
well,
to this
now
radio
that's
show, I hope.
that's another criteria. We're not going to go there, but if I were to go do it today, I'd be low income. Yeah.
Aren't we all?
But it's it's that kind of a thing, and you think, I wonder why they wanted to buy this house, because they've been renting all their lives, and their kids are about out of school, so you'd think they'd want more freedom. And really, when you own your own home, you're tied down certainly more than if you rented.
I can tell you that so many of our families have experienced homelessness, literal homelessness. They tell us stories about having to get up in the morning, drive to McDonald's and brush their teeth, and wash their face, and they have kids, or that they sleep car by car, for security, husband in one car, wife in another car, and one of them was a teacher. She was a teacher, and this, just a medical emergency wiped out their savings. They couldn't pay their rent because of the copay, and they had insurance. So these things happen to our neighbors,
Right.
and they're homeless. And so, when you say, why did they want to buy a house instead of rent? Well, they don't want to ever experience that again.
Right.
And at least with Habitat, because it's a 0% interest and because we are the mortgage company, we can work with families should they have a major crisis, like a death in the family of a breadwinner or, a loss of job. We can work with them to make sure they don't lose the home.
Wow.
Yeah.
What
Makes sense.
a great program all around. I mean, that's like all encompassing for everything that you'd need for home ownership. It's amazing.
Well, that's the only reason. That's the only way they're going to succeed. And if
Right.
they succeed, we succeed.
Right.
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 So if people want to, donate anything, either to the Restore, to money, to Habitat, or volunteer hours, what's the number? How do they get in touch?
Yeah, there's so many ways you can help. We're an all-service organization.
You do all and need all.
You can give us a call at 242-1140 or stop by the store. Our offices are located in the store, so you can shop a little bit and then come on through to our offices. We have applications available. And you can go to our website. You can donate online. Give us a call.
Yeah.
And stop by, Kahawai in a couple months and see how it's going.
Check out the progress.
Volunteer for a
And
day.
volunteer for a day.
Absolutely.
Maybe we should do that.
Yeah.
It's
Should
a
we do that?
great
I
team
actually
building
wanted to volunteer.
It's a great team building exercise. We should get all the nonprofit directors out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
should.
Instead of a lazy day on the beach, we should all get together and go work.
Well, I think we should do the lazy day on the beach.
Yeah.
It might take another lazy day at the beach after the work.
Yeah, maybe we should do it that way. Have a work day and then a lazy beach day.
Anyway, thank you so much for sharing with us. That's an exciting project. I can't, I'm trying to picture this thing, and I'm not good at visualizing things.
Yeah.
But when I see it, I know it's a great idea, and it's working, and it's fabulous for all
Next
the folks
time you
that
come
get
over,
into
I'll
it.
show you the pictures from San Francisco. It's really amazing.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
bet.
yeah.
And that
9
was-
stories off of Union Street.
Yeah.
Well, and the 36 unit in
Oh,
Daly City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. It's amazing.
Whew. Okay. Now we're gonna switch, and we're gonna go and talk to Joy Lynn, who from Maui Nui Botanical Gardens, and she's gonna supply all the plants for
I hope
around the
so.
building.
I hope so.
That
You
was
know,
amazing. Thank you so much for sharing.
That's what we did when we were building our house. We went down and just took a look at everything, because we had been over there before, with our previous house. But when you're starting from scratch,
Right.
it's just such a great thing to be able to walk in and look at how they grow and as they've aged, what
Yes.
happens with them.
To see the mature trees and
Yeah, and it's,
plants.
the worst thing you can do is buy something that you think is really cool because it's supposed to be not a miniature, but what do they call the short?
ground covers.
No, the trees.
Shrubs.
Bushes.
Huh?
Shrubs.
Dwarfs. That's what
Dwarfs,
yeah,
okay.
dwarf trees.
Oh.
And so they tell you it's a dwarf tree. It's going to grow to like 6-7 feet, and that's it. And so you plant it. You plant it where you think, okay, 6-7 feet, that's good, right? And it's going to bear fruit, which is normal size, which is cool. And then all of a sudden, 8 years later, this thing is 11 feet tall, and you go, uh-oh, it was mislabeled.
Right.
Is this personal experience speaking right now?
Oh, gee, you think?
No, that's right, Susie. At Maui Nui Botanical Gardens, one of the great benefits for homeowners is being able to see a diverse array of native Hawaiian plants and Polynesian introduced plants in one area. And a lot of the plants that we have are suitable for many of the upcoming development projects on Maui because most of them are in the coastal areas, Kihei, Lahaina side. And that's what our garden focuses on is the native plants in a coastal environment.
So what a coastal hello,
Coastal-
ask the question, Susie. Like coastal environment, how is that different from inland? I mean, besides the fact it's on the
From
coast.
inland, well, I don't think a lot of people realize this, but we are situated on an old sand dune
Okay.
structure where probably thousands of years ago, there was a large sand dune that would come all the way from Waihe'e almost all the way down to Ma'alaya. And so when you see all the development projects here and you see the names of the different subdivisions that we have, like Sand Hills and like right across Bowdoin School there and by Kaiser, they're doing some getting ready to build over there, and so there's a lot of sand. A lot of people don't realize that we're just pretty much here on sand, and so our garden focuses on plants that can survive in that kind of sandy environment, dry
is it like
land
xeriscape?
environment. Xeriscaping is another big thing that we
Okay,
do.
but that's not the same thing. Kind of, but not
Xeriscaping
really.
is more the idea or the purposeful landscaping of conserving water by planting natives, which require less water than introduced plants to grow, and then also responsible use of water by using drip irrigation and watering at night rather than during the day. I think a lot of people here on Maui already are doing xeriscaping to some extent, but they don't realize that that's what it's actually called.
I see. Okay.
But that's another aspect of the garden is that we feature xeriscaping techniques so people can understand what their irrigation should look like and where you should do drip irrigation and where you should use sprayers instead.
But the coastal thing is even different from that.
The
Is it
coastal-
drier or just sandier? or-
Yeah. If you just think like along the coastline areas and sand, so more lower elevation, dry land areas, whereas like up in Kula or Pukalani, that's a whole nother different environment. So some trees that we and some plants that we have down at the lower elevations can still work almost 6,000, 7,000 feet, but you just have to have the right plant in the right place. And so our garden is specifically for coastal sand dune type of native plants.
Okay.
Cool. Now, have you got an event coming up soon?
We have actually two major ones coming up, and one is this Friday. We have a much anticipated taro sale. We have a very select collection of taro at the gardens, where right now it's believed to have about 84 Hawaiian varieties of kalo to still exist.
Wow.
At one time in history, there was over 300 types of Hawaiian kalo, but over time we've lost many of those varieties. So as far as we know, there's about 84, almost 90 Hawaiian varieties still in existence. And at our garden, we feature over 60 of those varieties.
And you're selling all of those types of
We have just over 40 varieties that we're going to be selling on Friday.
Wow.
So yeah, it's a taro sale at Maui Nui Botanical Gardens on Friday from 9 a.m. is when our gates are going to open until supplies last.
I'll bet you have a lineup when you open the door. I'll
Yes,
bet.
just for our regular regular plant sales, we have lines
Yeah.
out. So
It's like Black Friday after
Yeah.
Thanksgiving.
yeah.
You know, I was looking on your website because that's one of the ways I prepare for this show. And on your homepage, you've got an aerial view of your gardens and so people know where it is. And I sat there and I was staring at this thing, and I almost got airsick. It was like I was in a
Really?
helicopter, just kind of hanging over there. I was trying to pick out. You've got the football field across the street,
Yeah, we're
the stadium,
Uh-huh.
and the baseball stadium there and
It's
stuff.
like War
and
Memorial?
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
all right here in this picture, and I'm going, oh gosh, I started weaving, and I put another paper on top of it.
Well, some people,
It's cool.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that we're located right in the heart of Kahului, right across from War Memorial Stadium, between YMCA and the Boys and Girls Clubs. And
What a location!
it's a great location, and
And it's beautiful in there.
yeah, it's kind of like a oasis in
Yeah.
the middle of an urban environment.
Yeah.
And once people walk through those gates, they're just amazed by how different the feeling is and how cool it is.
Yeah. Is there a
in the
fee to
garden.
come in?
No, we're free. We're open to the
Yeah, that'd be a
public.
great thing to do at noon.
But like you said,
Some days, you know.
Yeah.
right, come and have lunch.
Yeah.
That's something that we really encourage people to come and do. We have
Yeah.
some regulars that come, but we're open to the public Monday through Saturday from 8 to 4, and we are a nonprofit, so donations are more than welcome.
Yep. And you have a lot of students that come through, right?
Yeah, well, with the university being right next to the garden practically, we have a lot of interns that come and do service projects with us.
Uh-huh.
We also have mostly high school students that need to complete community service hours, and they come by and do 20, 40 hours.
It's like weeding and watering and stuff like
Weeding,
that, or
raking, some of the general duties.
Landscape?
Oh, the fun stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's necessary.
That's
It is.
right.
It
That's
is.
right. It
The
is.
garden doesn't look the way it does every day, and so
yeah.
There's nothing special about that garden that no weeds grow.
right, no
Right.
weeds, no leaves fall.
On that note, we're going to take a break.
Aloha from Pacific Source, and thank you for your support over the years. Pacific Source has offered more of what builders and homeowners value most in building materials and cabinet design. We've done this by offering superior customer service and products, as well as by designing kitchens and baths that are intelligent and elegant while staying true to your vision and budget. Visit our showroom in Waikapu in Central Maui, where we display a variety of cabinets as well as top-name appliances like Sub-Zero, Wolf, Viking, KitchenAid, and more. We display countertops, tile and wood flooring, and several brands of windows and doors, including Fleetwood multi-slides and La Cantina folding doors. Come in and talk to our designers about making your dreams become a reality. From concept to completion, we really believe our attention to detail and superior service are what sets us apart. Let us show you what we mean. We are Pacific Source at 515 East Oahe Way in the Consolidated Base Yard in Waikapu, just off Waiko Road. Call us at 986-0380. That's 986-0380, or look us up online at packsource.com.
And welcome back to Maui Nonprofit Notes. We're talking story with Joylyn Paman, the executive director of the Maui Nui Botanical Gardens. And I'm so glad she wore a shirt with that name on it, because now I don't have to hunt through my notes for it.
I know it's kind of a long name. Sometimes people get it all mixed up.
Well, Maui Nui comes out, because there's a lot of Maui Nui, right?
Right.
But all of a sudden I stumble over Botanical Gardens. I don't know why that. Now, there are other gardens on the island, botanical gardens.
Yes, there are other botanical gardens, but none like ours. In fact, ours is pretty unique throughout the entire state.
Okay.
And speaking about its name and Maui Nui, like you said, Maui Nui is the entire county. It's composed of Maui, Molokai, Lanai, Kaho'olawe, as well as Molokini. And that's the focus of our garden also, is that we feature native Hawaiian plants from Maui Nui. We do feature some other plants from Kauai, from other islands, but the main focus are Hawaiian plants and endangered and rare species that are in coastal environments within this county area, Maui Nui.
So who is it that works with plants? A botanist? No. What are they called?
Botanist?
Horticulturist?
Yeah, horticulture.
Okay. I don't know.
I think we both work with plants.
Do you
Yeah.
have someone like that on staff to help and assist with things, or do you bring them in as you need them?
Well, we have our garden manager and our nursery manager who have been in the industry for probably over 7 or 8 years for each of them. So they come with a lot of wealth and knowledge, especially about that particular place. So we rely on their knowledge for a lot of the expertise of what we offer to the public, as well as what happens in the garden and the nursery. But we also have a program manager who helps run our volunteers and our events with me. So it's actually a very small staff of just 4 full-time and 1 part-time person.
So what's the size of the garden?
It's about 6 acres.
6 acres.
Yeah.
It's a healthy size.
That's
yeah.
a nice walk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it is. It's a beautiful garden, though. I mean, some days I just walk out and take a walk through the garden and just realize, wow, I'm so lucky to work in such a beautiful place. And
Yeah.
I was originally drawn there 6-7 years ago, as when I was working for another organization. There was the Earth Day celebration, and it was one of the best celebrations I've ever participated in for work, and had a booth there. And so I thought, wow, this garden is beautiful. Little did I know that I would be working there
A few
eventually.
years later, yeah.
Aha,
Yeah.
it was in the back of your mind. You
Right.
were working on how can I get over there?
Yeah.
When the opportunity arose, you jumped.
Yes, and I'm proud to say that this year, we were able to bring back Earth Day, because we took a break from that for 2 or 3 years, and Earth Day celebration just kicked off again in April of this year, and it was a great success, and
Great,
looking forward
yeah,
to
that's
it again
important.
next year.
So you're talking about all these different varieties of taro.
Oh,
I mean,
yes.
To the average person, taro is taro. So are we talking differences in the size it gets, or the quality of the taro, or
That's a great question. Why is there so many
Yeah.
varieties to begin with? Well, when you think about like just where Hawaiians lived, some lived up Mauka in the mountains, some lived in the at the coastline, some lived in dry areas, some lived in wet areas. So Hawaiians were ingenious pretty much in being able to manipulate the original kalo varieties to be able to breed new varieties that were suitable for different areas, for wetland areas, for dry areas, coastal and Mauka areas too. So from that, we had the 300 plus varieties in the past.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And so you'll have 40 of those varieties approximately for sale this Friday.
Yes.
And then you were talking about another event that's coming up, right?
Oh, yes. We try to do about twice a year a native Hawaiian plant sale. So not just focusing on taro, but we probably will have some available. But that's going to be on Saturday, August 25th from 9 to 12.
So exactly a month from today.
Yeah, there you go. Woo, oh no. That snuck up on me, but yes.
For those of you who can't see the look she just had on her face.
Like, yeah.
Went white.
We did schedule that close, didn't we? Well, we invite other native Hawaiian plant growers here on the island to come and sell their products also. So it's a nice diversity because we have our coastal Hawaiian plants that we provide, and then we have a lot of nursery growers from the Kula area that bring their merchandise down. So people from just about anywhere here on Maui can get something for their particular area.
So what kind of plants are native to Hawaii that might be on sale for that event?
Wow, we have. Gosh, that's a good question, but there's just
So many.
Usually, I think in the past we've had over 30 different species of plants that we ourselves from the garden supply for that, and then we. Ohia is usually one that's very favored because of the red blossoms, but then sometimes you get the rarer ones, the yellow ohia, that mamo that people go after.
Every lot in our neighborhood has to have an ohio tree out front.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then sometimes we have maile
cool.
from some of the upcountry growers. They bring maile down, which is a favorite for many people. There's just
I'm like
great
so
variety.
ignorant. I'm just ignorant on
Yeah,
what's
it's all
Hawaiian,
good.
what's just tropical. Like I just
Right.
don't know the difference.
What you need to do is to join their weed and pot club.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
How's that for a name of
I
an
think that-
organization?
That if you join the Weed and Pot Club, you will
That-
get familiar with the garden.
The other connotation didn't even cross my mind until you said that.
Yeah, it's always an interesting name, but it's a dedicated club of workers that are volunteers that come every Wednesday morning from 8:30 to about 10:30, and they spend 1 hour in the garden weeding, and then the second hour in our nursery potting plants. And it's really because of this volunteer force that we're able to keep the garden looking as manicured as we do, provide, prepare for these upcoming plant sales and Arbor Day events where we give away 1,000 trees.
Wow.
It's not just the few staff that we have that makes things possible. It's really the volunteers helping us too.
Yeah, and you gotta love Maui, the Maui community, because I don't think any of our organizations could run at all without
Right.
the support of our volunteers.
You don't happen to have T-shirts with this on it, do you?
We do.
They have a logo here.
We
that-
do. You'd be surprised. We have some guys walking with dreads on, and they want some of those.
What is this false advertising?
The Weed and Pot Club will work for plants. Okay. I think
great.
I think it's cool.
Yeah, I can.
If I could figure out a good excuse to disappear on Wednesday morning for 2 hours.
Well, it really is a good group of people. We have about a dozen people that are here every Wednesday helping us out, and sometimes we get more, sometimes we get less. We get people from Japan, Germany, Europe and stuff. We
Do you
get all
kind
over.
of get the same sort of thing like Sherry was talking about, where people come to the islands
Yes.
for various trips, groups, clubs,
Yep.
businesses, incentive trips, and and they want to. I mean, that's
Yeah, that's
the
their
big
passion,
thing. They
so
want
that-
them to do something,
Yeah.
Yes.
and so I'm sure there's got to be a group like that.
Yes, we get them every once in a while, as well as we get school groups and community groups that want to just do a service project, or we do learning stations and rotate them around the garden, and they learn different aspects of the garden. We teach them a lot about conservation of plants and the cultural connections that the plants have.
Yeah, which is really important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I have a problem with my gardenia plants.
Do you?
You have gardenias in your garden?
we have a native gardenia.
Yeah?
It's called Nanu. Yes. It's
What-
a beautiful petite gardenia.
Oh, the small one. That's
Yeah.
used for lays. No?
Yeah, you could probably
Okay.
use it for lay, but it doesn't grow as abundant on one bush as
As the
the
standard.
gardenia does.
Yeah.
called
A lot
Nanu?
of people, have the misconception that if a plant has a Hawaiian name to it, it's a Hawaiian plant, like Pua Keni Keni. A lot of people
That's
think
not
that it's a native. It's actually an introduced flower. But
Really?
we have a plant called Alula, which is a native. It has a flower that looks very similar to Pua Kenkeni, and it smells great too. So
I think somebody mentioned that one time when somebody had a lay on. Everybody was calling it a puakini. And they said, no. I think
Yeah.
that's what they said it was.
Yeah.
And it does have a great flavor. Smell.
I'm not saying Pua Kenkeni is bad, because I love it.
Oh
myself,
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
right?
yeah. I
Yeah.
used to have one of those in my my other house, and when they were blooming, it's wow. So I'm fascinated by plants, but I'm not the kind to get out and get my hands dirty.
Oh no.
I don't know why. I
Really?
just I grew up on a farm.
So you've done your hours.
Maybe that's it. I don't know. I figure I've been there, done that.
Yeah.
On to something else.
Right. Well, if people are interested in learning about the plants that we have and what their cultural uses are, and what we do as also as conservationists to preserve some of the more rare and endangered species, especially those in Maui Nui, they can actually go on a tour that we offer Mondays, Tuesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays at 10 a.m. They have to make reservations at least 24 hours ahead of time, because most of the times we have volunteers leading those tours. But it's a great hour-and-a-half tour. It's free, but we do accept donations.
Just slide that in.
Yeah, and it's just a great way to become familiar with the plants.
Another one of my neighbors goes down to your plant sale. I mean, he's probably down there in line before you open, and he'll come home, and the back of his truck will have 5 or 6 potted plants in it. And it's like, where are you going to put those? You don't, hello. His backyard is fabulous. I mean, he's very meticulous about what he's planting, when he's planting it, where he's planting it. He's got one of those trees that grew a little taller than he thought it was going to, but he says, oh, what the heck does it have on it? I can't remember now what kind of tree it is. But everything grows on the top, and he can't get to it because he's on a hillside.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
That's the case. I live on a really nice property, but maybe about 2 or 3 acres, and my landlord has probably every fruit tree that could grow on Maui, but all the fruit grows at the very top. You need one of those basket fruit pickers to get to it. It's always just out of reach.
At least,
Yeah.
yeah. I know I used to have an avocado tree that I just wait for them to drop.
Yeah.
There's no sense in fighting it.
right.
When they drop, they're ready to go.
That's with avocados.
Yeah. So I marvel, like when I do plant something, maybe I'll plant the same kind of something that my neighbor's planting. Like we started out with rose beds, small rose bed, maybe it's 6, 7 rose bushes. Well, they put in 15 rose bushes,
Wow.
right? Because the wife has a real knack for them. So I'm sitting there, my rose bushes and I'm showing you, right? They get to be like 10
They're-
inches high or a foot high,
off
maybe.
the table?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, not like that. Hers get like that.
Yeah.
They're like 3 foot high, and they're covered with roses, huge blossoms, just unbelievable. Mine have nice, cute little, and the first rain we get, bloop, all the,
Oh, yeah.
it all falls apart. I go, what's the difference between hers and mine? I think she works in hers.
Yeah, you got to give the plants some love for them to,
Yes,
to actually
yeah.
grow.
And maybe that's why I have kind of lost my touch with things, because I don't go out and work the soil like I'm sure she does.
Yeah. Well, you have to
Yeah.
have time. You're in nonprofits. And you're a director, so
Yeah, no time for nothing.
yeah.
It's all in planning.
Yes.
That's and priorities.
You know what? I've been kind of in the market. I don't think this is Hawaiian at all, but for a bonsai tree. Do you guys have any of those, or is it just that's too far out of your?
Bonsai is more Japanese,
Yeah.
so no,
No.
we don't have those over there.
Okay.
Where would he go? Do you
Where
know?
would he go?
There's a bonsai farm, I think, in Haiku, but
Oh, really?
they only let you in on. You have to make a reservation to go let in, and
When you think about it, it's when you'd like to go. And
Yeah,
it's too
yeah.
late.
I'm thinking maybe the county fair coming up.
That's true.
There's great
Oh, yeah.
displays of different farmers here on the
yeah,
island.
that's true.
And yeah, maybe then.
So
Good to
we've got tarot coming up on Friday.
Yep. tarot
Starting
sale.
at what
on
time?
Friday at 9 a.m. Our
9
gates
a.m.
will open at Maui Nui Botanical Gardens, and these are tarot that are in pots. Sometimes people think it's just the root or just the huling, but
Are these starts kind of things? Or?
yeah, there's
Okay.
starts. Yeah, we actually created a new tarot bed display in the garden. So these are the cuttings that we made a couple months ago, and they've grown in the pots. So we're about to sell them, and it really helps out our programs. It helps to keep the garden going and growing.
That's great.
And then on August 25th, we're having our native Hawaiian plant sale from 9 to 12 o'clock at the
That's a
garden.
semi-annual.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Cool.
come out and support Maui Nui Botanical Garden.
Please do.
Buy some
Exactly.
tarot this Friday.
Yes. We
Exact-
have about 600 plants available. Over 600.
Do you limit people how many they can
Oh
buy?
no, we just want to spread the kalo all over Maui. So, yeah, we have some
Very
people
good.
who are planning on coming and purchasing a lot.
Okay. And-
Great.
And how can they get a hold of you if they have specific questions?
They can call us at 249-2798, or you can visit us at mnbg.org.
Terrific. And we're going to sign up Max for the Weed and Pot Club.
Yeah, you can also check us out on Facebook too. We have
Oh,
a great
okay.
Oh, yeah.
Native Hawaiian Plant of the Day on Facebook. Yeah, become a
Nice.
friend.
Nice.
Okay. That's too cool. I just there's something about that place that just is, it's magical,
Yeah.
you know?
If you haven't
Because-
checked it out, go check it out.
Yeah, come have lunch.
They've
Yeah.
got the touch, and that is a great idea.
Yeah.
Stop by Stillwell's, pick up a salad,
There you go.
go down there. Whoa,
There you
maybe
go.
that's today.
Yeah, I'm getting
Right
kind of
after
hungry.
the show, yeah.
Anyway, thank you, Joylyn, for joining
Thank
us
you
today.
very much.
We've
Yeah.
learned a lot. Max?
And thank you to Sherry Dodson from Habitat for Humanity for being our guest today. And this show is sponsored as a community service by Pacific Source, the builder's choice. If you are building or remodeling your home, please stop by their showroom in the Waikapu Base Yard. The Maui Nonprofit Directors Association's mission is to provide personal and professional support to nonprofit executive directors, their organizations, and the community of Maui.
And we encourage everyone to get involved by giving, advocating, or volunteering for their favorite nonprofit. Please visit our website at mauinonprofit.org for a list of member agencies. Please get involved today. Mahalo for tuning in, and don't forget to join us again next week right here on KAOI Radio, 1110 AM, 96.7 FM, when we'll be featuring representatives of two more member agencies of the Maui Nonprofit Directors Association. I cannot read script. Anyway, until then, I'm Susie Tiemann,
I'm Max Tornai from Mediation Services.
and together with Joy Lynn and our great engineer, Gary, we say hello, goodbye, aloha, and have a
Mahalo.
great week. See you next week.
Aloha.
Aloha.